Here we go. As we're going online, everybody, thank you so much for joining me for day 5 of this summer website challenge. We should be going live here on Facebook, our Facebook community for Guiding Gigs, and on YouTube. My name is Alan C. Paul. If you don't know, if you haven't been following for a while and you're catching this for the first time, I'm the founder of Guiding Gigs. I'm a musician and author of the books Guiding Gigs, Succeed as a Musician Without Sacrificing Your Faith. And we're here to help you to build a better life from the inside out. And the way we're doing that today, and the way we've been doing that for the past 5 days, is by doing a website challenge for creatives who need to get their websites under control and back to working order. Because as you all probably know by now, COVID has taken away so many of our live in-person events, and 99.9% of the things we do now are interactive on the internet, just like I'm doing right now, talking to you. I want to make sure that my website is a good lobby, a good place that people can come to, but I'm not tech savvy. I'm not a coder or designer. So the last 5 days, I've taken what was a bland kind of template site, and it may not be awesome in terms of a lot of bells and whistles when I finish, but I'm taking it upon myself to clean up my website. And so I challenge our community, some of you are watching now, to build your own websites and to work on it so that you can get the best possible first impression on your guests, people who are following you, people who are looking for you. I just wanted to make sure that I was following my own advice. And so I jumped in, started doing that right away. So if you're joining us right now on Facebook or YouTube, thank you so much for doing that. And I always have to take a quick glance and make sure everything is working on all these different platforms. But looks like we're good. Looks like everything is live, and I see that we have YouTube working and Facebook working. I'm able to chat with you, so let's kind of say hello to everybody and make sure that you all can see. And I'm by myself, so you see me pausing and typing is because there's nobody on the other side. Spelled challenge wrong. Whoops. Oh well. But so at least you know that I'm here and that I'm talking to you and that you're, a part of this, that I'm not just, doing this recorded or anything. This is a live look at a creative, someone like you probably. If you are a coder or programmer, feel free to call me out on anything that I do wrong or say wrong when it comes to WordPress, Bluehost, web design, any of these things. I'm basically trying to show that for those of us who are creatives and musicians who don't have a lot of technical knowledge, you can at least clean up your site and have it in a much better place than you had it before. And I'm still preaching to everyone that it's so important that you have a website, that it's so important that you don't just simply say, well, I just have Twitter, or I have Facebook, or I have Instagram. I don't really need a site anymore. The problem with that, and I'm kind of recapping the last 4 days. If you've missed any of them, you can go back and look at it. We have a playlist on YouTube at guidinggigs.com/YouTube, or you can go to our Guiding Gigs page, Guiding Gigs obviously on Facebook if you're watching now, and you can see all of our previous episodes from this challenge. And what I've been talking about is the fact that our websites and the places that we plant ourselves online is the difference between owning a space and renting a space. If you own your home, then even if you're paying for it, if you're paying a mortgage, you have control over that space. But if you're renting, you always have to ask permission and hope that people don't change the rules on you. And Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter all are rented space. So if you are only presenting yourself to your audiences as creatives, as faith-focused freelancers, no matter what kind of music you're making, no matter what kind of art you're making, you're relying on those platforms to get your message out. And if you're not doing it through your own website, at any point that Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter change the rules, then you're kind of stuck. But if you have your own website, like I'm doing now, at least you have one place, has your name, it's your place, you get to decide what to do with it. And the second part of that is, if you change it using WordPress and host it on a hosting platform like Bluehost, you're able to make changes whenever you want. You're not stuck with a certain template. You can change things up, make it look however you want. And if you need more expert help, you can always hire a designer, but then they can work within your site and they have all the flexibility to change things around. And you can make decisions that work best for your platform, for your music, for your career, for whatever you're making. So that's why I'm totally sold on creating your own website. even if you have to hire somebody to help you with little pieces and things, you'll see where I run into little snags where I know I'm going to have to get some expert help, but that's okay because I still own my domain name. I own my hosting. In other words, I'm self-hosted. My website is on a single place where it can be found, and that makes sure that I'm not just at the whim of any new change that comes around with social media. It's so important as I'm talking to you right now that you realize that this is probably the new normal, as you all know now with COVID going into months and months and months. For those of us who are creatives, this is why I decided to push through it, do this, even though maybe some people are like, well, I have a website on another platform that is just, I do just drag and drop and it does it for me. And I don't have to worry about all the coding and making it look a certain way, or somebody else does my website. That's all great. As long as you know you have control and you know where it is, where it's hosted, how it's controlled, how to get back into it. If somebody was to suddenly say, oh, if your website's broken, would you be able to fix it? Would you be able to know even where to go to figure that out? Or would you be relying on somebody else? And that's where most of the creatives that I've been talking to and artists are stuck at. They have a website, but they're not sure, number one, how it's hosted. They don't know what to do if it's messed up, and they don't know how to change it. So what I'm showing is that it's not beyond the realm of your skill, even if you only have a little bit of computer knowledge, to make small changes and to recommend certain changes to people who need that you need assistance from to make those changes on your website. So let me just ask this question. Have you checked on and do you know where it's hosted? Because if you don't know where your website exists, you've got a big issue if something goes wrong. Because if you don't know where your website is hosted, let's say you have your certain site where it says, your name .wix.com. And of course that means it's hosted by Wix, but you may not know how you can make the changes or adjust things in Wix. Now you can use Wix and Squarespace and things like that to make changes, but some of those places are limited in the amount of changes they're making. I'm building my new site because it was built on a template site that wasn't working for me. I didn't have control over it, so I moved it through WordPress, transferred the domain to Bluehost through Bluehost. Now I'm building it on the WordPress site, and what you're going to be watching me doing, what I've been doing for the last 5 days, is building it on a WordPress site from scratch. Not a coder, just being able to figure out things on my own. And even last night, I was able to figure out some things. So let's do this. Let me jump into things. Let me just get a quick glance and see where we're at. And then number two, let me jump into the actual page. There we go. And for those of you who have seen, if you're watching this on a replay, you watched some of the previous videos, you saw how my website started to evolve. It started with just a picture and a byline and a template. Then I started working on the front page, figuring out, okay, where can I put at least the first call to action? So there's a call to action. What you're seeing here, of course, is the backside of WordPress. So WordPress is where I'm building my site, and I got this again through Bluehost. And let me do a quick glance just so you guys can see where Bluehost actually comes in here. I might have to sign in quickly, but just so you can kind of see the very, very beginning of this. And once I signed in through Bluehost, as you can see, they have a free domain for the first year, so you can host your domain. Your domain name is where you have your actual address of your website. You can get that saved and made sure that it's yours, and it's free for a year, which is really cool because most of the times it costs a little bit of a monthly fee or a yearly fee for you to keep that, and you can start at $3.95 a month. So anyway, that's where I'm hosting my website. And so when I come in here and get in here, you can see that I am jumping in to the back side of my website. And so once I'm in Bluehost, I'm able to see that my domain is listed under my domains. So I own this domain. It belongs to me, and Bluehost is where I can keep all of my information. Let's see if that pops up. There we go. And there are my domains right here. Those are the ones I own. And I'm able to like just know that this is where my site lives. If there's anything I need to change, I have WordPress tools right here. I can change themes. I can do all kinds of stuff very easily in the back end of Bluehost. And again, it's because my site lives here that I have control over all of that. Now, after you finish working out your domain registration, you changed over to Bluehost, you figured out that you want your site to live on a site like this, where you can make all the changes, make the updates and things like that. That's my God and Gigs page right there. But as you can see, I also have Alan Paul Music right there. And once again, I can see where my themes are, what I've decided to use as a theme. Right here, you can see the theme that I'm using is Parallax Pro. And I bought that theme, and I can change it if I want to right here, but everything is done right there. Now, what I want to go back to is where WordPress actually controls my site, and that is where I log in here, and that's where I'm making the actual changes. But you can make changes inside Bluehost, and they have amazing tools to build your site even without using WordPress. Not using WordPress, but building it actually inside Bluehost on the cloud. So now we're going to go to customize my site, and you can see what I've done so far. And I'm so glad that you guys who have watched this have seen this process and seen that I haven't broken my site yet, although I was nervous I would break it. So this is the back end. Here's my picture. Here's my first byline. Here's where I was able to create my first click here where they can sign up for my mailing list. I did this in ConvertKit so people can sign up. Once again, you can see that the type, I might change these colors a little bit eventually, but at least it's working and it's up there so I can get people to my site right away. You can see I added a picture and a video real quick so I can do recent shows. So today what I wanted to have some fun with is just, and quickly, I also was able to add an About Me page, which is a quick bio. Added a picture there. And I also, what I wasn't having as much, I think I did put my contact page as well, which again, very simple, but at least it's there. I'm going to make these clickable eventually so people can click on it and go right to that. And then I was having trouble with this test thing. What I was trying to do yesterday was I was trying to make sure that I had a place to buy music, and I wanted to have it as part of the menu. I wasn't able to get that to work yesterday until I realized the problem is that you're not allowed to test outside links in this menu. But what's cool is if I go here and I go to a share preview link, I'm able to go to my I can't say it. I'm able to go to my dummy site, I guess you could call it. And let me go here and create a new link. And I can see the way that my site would behave if it was live. It's not live, but if it was, as you can see here, I just put an Amazon link to make sure it works. So now I know that link does go to outside things. So if I want somebody to go outside my page, they can go there, and I can put a link here directly to my music on Amazon. So that's something I wasn't sure about before, and now I'm sure about. So it's much, much more comfortable for me now to build these menus that's what I worked on the other day, was menus, because now I know I can create a custom link. Matter of fact, why don't I do that right now? Primary navigation. Here's the test link that I was playing with. As you can see, it's Amazon.com, but that's clearly not where I want to go. So I'm going to go back and find my EP, which again, I've explained to many of you should be much more available, but I've never made it available. But at least now I can quickly put a link to it via a custom link right here. So even though it doesn't necessarily work inside the viewer here, I can create quickly. Let's see. I think that did it, right? Buy my music. There it is. So at least I have something inside my menu where people can go to buy my music right away. So there are two things I could go with this now. I could have some fun with some of the widgets and create some new things on the first page, or I could probably be a little more practical and work on a calendar. So what I wanted to talk about right here is plugins. Some of you have never heard of plugins, but plugins are simply, let's save the draft. So plugins are things that you can use to update your site, create all kinds of cool things that you want. And there are several 100,000 plugins that you can use. But I just wanted to show you quickly how this might work if I decide to add a plugin right now, which I may or may not do. I'm still trying to decide. But let's just say I wanted a plugin that's going to show my calendar for my upcoming gigs. So I'm just going to type in calendar. Oh, I want to make sure first I want to go to add new. And now I can look at keywords and I'm going to put in calendar. And I can just peruse hundreds and hundreds of plugins that could create a calendar for me. Now, the good thing about this is that you can see the reviews. You can see whether or not it works for you, whether it fits what you need. This is a booking calendar here, a modern events calendar. And basically, you can see this one has tons and tons of reviews. It's compatible with my version of WordPress. And I'm sure there's some other ones. I'm going to actually see if there's one that's specific to music. So I'm going to put in, I don't know. Music doesn't seem like music calendar. That seems kind of weird, but let's put music or shows. And as you can see, the things are popping up, guys. All these are different things that you can add to your site. Now, is it important that you're very careful about how you add plugins? Yes. Is it wise to have people that are checking out your site and maybe monitoring this kind of stuff? Sure. But it's also, if you're very, wise and pay attention, it's also something that you can handle yourself. And as you can see, I'm just taking a couple of looks at some different things. So I'm going to put event calendar. And again, if you're just aware of what's happening here and you know what you're looking for, you can take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and look at this one because this is one of the first ones here that popped up. So here it says the #1 calendar for WordPress. There's a whole bunch of cool things here, it looks like. So if I wanted to add this to my site, and I really would love it if it would take me to a ticket thing. And let me just look at the demo experience. And you guys see, basically all I'm doing is just deciding whether or not this is something I want to add to my site. And that's the way it would look. And it's a pretty clean look. I might want a different thing than this, but it's a possibility. So if I want to install this, all I have to do is tap install now, follow the prompts, install it, and then I'll be able to use this calendar inside my site. And what I was thinking of doing was putting it right over here in one of the very first widgets on my page. So that's where I'm really trying to decide what I want to do with these next 2 or 3 sections. As you can see, I got recent shows here. I've got a video there. I might change that one as well. Home section 3, I can also put any of these widgets. So let's do this. Let's just try a couple of things. There's no calendar of our post yet, but what if I kind of want to see what happens if I put that plugin, which again, I'm being very daring right now to try this right in front of you guys, because it will probably take a lot of setting up to get that thing working. We have inactive ones as well, recent shows. You know what I want to do? I'm going to go back and check out the demo. Theme settings, I see. I know where to go. Customize. And I want to look at some of the pages that were already there and just see what I have as some options for some of the things that are already a part of this theme. So here's landing pages. So here's something that I could use here. I like this look. Of course, a landing page means there's nothing else there. So I don't necessarily want something that has no other things on it. Could have a featured page, which I haven't built yet. I think I'm going to try this calendar thing. I'm very curious to see how quickly I could add a calendar to my website. And so we're going to try a plugin live. This is very nerve-wracking. And I wish I could show my screen at the same time. But as you can see, quickly is that it's installed and activated. And see, here we go. I can just look at what it avails, what it allows for me. As you see just there, it just popped up with a new thing for adding events. And what I want to see, where's my calendar? Right here. And that's where my events would show up. So now, as you can see, I already have an event page just by quickly putting in a plugin. And I kind of like the look of it because it looks very clean. Once I start adding events, it's got a calendar right there. I like that. I can get back to About Me. And let's see where I'm going to put that page. Let's go back to Customize. I actually like that calendar a lot. So as you can see, I could play with it, maybe try another plugin, but that plugin looked really good when I first saw it, and I just want to see whether or not I can add it to my front page. Wait, I want to get to my front page. Sorry, guys. There it is, Events Calendar. So general, single event. I can change the colors there. Very cool. Widgets. And let's see if it allows me to add that calendar to the front page. That's all I want to see right now, is if I can add it to the front page. Which right now I don't see if I can add it to the front page. Single event. These are all options. So I'll probably have to work on that a little bit more to make sure that I can add it to the front page, because I want to add it down here and add something like that. Maybe add a widget here. Featured page, maybe that'll work. Let's see. Page 2, About Me, blog, topography. And let's add, let's see, it's not a blog page. I want to find the right page for this. Although that would work. Contact and booking would be important too. So as you can see, I'm just walking out some things and seeing whether or not I can add these sections here. And seeing what happens. Oh, show up page content. Silly. I need to add that. And there we go. So I've just added in that section just to see what it looked like. And maybe I don't want all of that information, so I could put a content character limit there, and I'm going to say maybe just maybe 500 words, 500 characters for that first section. Ah, I see. It took away some of my content, so maybe I would leave it. Anyway, as you can see, there's some options I have here for my front page. So I'm going to work on the calendar thing. I like this look of having this on the front page, but I'm going to try to make it a little bit smaller because I don't like it being that much information for someone to scroll. And I now have a calendar app that I can start messing with and work on putting that in and seeing whether or not that's a page I can add. So as you guys can see, oh, I am interested in the lower third. Thank you, Jamie. I like the lower thirds too, because I'm definitely trying to figure out like what to do with this footer down here. Where did I do the footer? The footer menu. Right now it's just kind of like, you know, all this stuff. I'm not really using any of this stuff. So I could probably get rid of all these in the menu section. And this is like the normal look, right? So where people can scroll back and forth. And like I said, my biggest thing is that it looks good mobile and that I'm able to get people back and forth between these 5 or 6 things like quickly. So the about me, I need to work on what I'm going to put here and here, the contact so far. Again, I'm going to do this real quick live. I want to just make these linkable because this is bothering me. I want this to be linkable. So let me go back to that page, contact and booking, and I want these to be links. Where was it? Contact, edit page. And here I am once again inside the back end of WordPress. Come on, wake up, computer. I know that I'm doing a lot. I feel like I should go at it while I'm waiting for this to open. There it goes. All right. So yeah, let's just make it obvious. Like this is pretty simple to link stuff. So all I got to do is here, tap that, hit that, facebook.com/AlanPaulMusic. And I'm always going to want these to open in new tabs. So as you can see, I can put that there. And now when I click it, it'll take me to Alan Paul Music. Same thing here for Twitter. And I'm definitely going to download a social media plugin as well. So I have those links. I can just like put one thing there, but this is another way to make sure that people can find their place around and just click on one thing and find me. And again, not fancy at all. At all. Update. Preview. And now those are linkable. As you can see, the thing pops up. Something will show up. I can actually go to that site. Open like a new window. And it takes them to my Twitter page. So as you can see, guys, what I'm basically doing again is just showing you how I'm using WordPress, how I'm trying to figure out what to do with my page. I've got finally, oh wait, it changed this to Facebook. Why did it change to Facebook? That's weird. That page is wrong, but I'll figure that out. That one should be Amazon for that top page, or it should be Buy My Music. So maybe the menu changed on the top end of that one, which I don't want a different menu everywhere. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me switch up back here. So yeah, what I really am excited about at this point is that now I have my calendar. So I'm going to play with that live. Well, I'm doing it live, but I don't want to bore you guys by like clicking. I just wanted to show you some little ins and outs of how I'm starting to put the site together. So I've got 2 more days to get my calendar up. I need to, let me look at my Excel list. That's where I'm doing this right now. I need to get my calendar up. I need to get my social links. Eventually I'm going to do a members area, but I'm not ready for that just right. I might ask them for some help to do that. So that's where I'm at right now with my site, guys. So thank you so much, Jamie, for giving me that idea. Can you show us how to get the lower thirds? Oh, I didn't see that comment. I'm sorry. When you say the lower thirds, you're talking about the way I do that is because of the theme I bought. I hope I answered your question. The theme I bought was Parallax, and I wanted something that actually moves with the screen like that. So when I did that, that theme was already set. So I'm not going to act like I know the particular design element that creates that look. Here's the thing, though. I do have a lot of designers that I'm going to be sending out. So if you want to sign up at godandgeeks.com/cleanup, I can send you the links of the designers that could probably help you with that. That's exactly what I want to kind of talk about now is whenever I start getting to little places where I'm not good enough, I do want to turn to the designers. I do want to turn to the people who know what they're talking about when it comes to lower thirds, how to create links and things like that, things that are beyond my tech. I want to make sure that you have the access to that. So if you sign up at godandgifts.com/cleanup, I can get you that information. I'll be creating a list of my top recommended designers that I've already talked to. They are all going to be able to give you consultations and be able to help you to build the site that you want to build. And if you want to hire them, you can hire them. But again, first I suggest you move your site to Bluehost and WordPress. Okay, so go to godandgifts.com/Bluehost, because if you have it hosted, self-hosted, it's going to be so much easier for a web designer to work with you. If you have it on a site that's kind of already limited, unless they work with these, which I'm sure they do, but WordPress gives them so much more access to do whatever they want to do with your site, and you to do whatever you want to do with your site. So I would definitely recommend that you go to bluehost.com, or sorry, godandgifts.com/Bluehost. Go ahead and sign up for that trial. It's really important that you do so as quickly as possible, because I don't know if that rate will be here. It's $3.95 a month for a basic plan, and you get a free domain name for a year. So I'm paying I pay for mine usually 3 years at a time. So I pay about $15, $16. So obviously you can see that just saving yourself a little bit of money there right off the top. It doesn't cost you anything. And then you're only paying $3.95 a month for the hosting, and you can start with your site. You can start getting everything in order. If you're moving your site, they help you with migration. And if you are starting afresh, then you can always, again, start from the beginning, building a WordPress site or blog or whatever you want to do for that. I also want to just remind you guys that if you are looking for help with any other things when it comes to your technical or your creative life, go to godandgifts.com/toolkit. The link for Bluehost is there, as well as several other graphic examples like Canva. I've used Canva very much for my pictures and resizing things. And I've also used Fiverr to find designers and people like that to do either speeding up my site, things like that. I've been able to hire freelancers via godandgifts.com/Fiverr. That's with 2 R's. So those are the things I've been doing to kind of build the site up, to get everything together. Hopefully, if you want to do the same, at day 5 of this challenge, so I would suggest you jump right on. Even if you haven't done it yet, don't get into the rest of summer and not know where your site is hosted, not know how to build your site, not know how to create different things for your site, or at least, just like you say with a doctor, at least be able to tell them what you want. Tell them what's hurting. Tell them what you want fixed, and to be able to have some knowledge about how to design your site so that you get it to do what it wants you to do. I definitely wanted to make sure that it had a mailing list connection right away. I got that. I wanted to make sure it had an about me. I've got that. I wanted to have a click where they could buy music. I've got that. And I'm going to set up my calendar for future dates and set up my menus. And again, it may not be a lot of the site, but it will work. And it will be much more clean and much more professional than it was before, when I had a template site that was just kind of like, flashy pictures everywhere, but really didn't help people to, they couldn't click on the first button to go to my website, to my mailing list. It was like a hassle to find it. Now I know that is the first thing they'll click on. Its call to action is very clear. So will I keep tweaking this? Absolutely. But I don't feel any more fear about being able to put my website out in the next week, because I've done all the work and I've been able to create all the different things I need to create via WordPress. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us for this website challenge. Everybody who was watching, if you're watching this on a replay, once again, it doesn't mean you can't jump in and do the same thing. You can get into WordPress. You can get into Bluehost by signing up for your free domain name at godandgifts.com/Bluehost. Then you can make sure you start on this process, start picking out a theme that you like, looking at different possibilities of working with designers, of which you sign up today. If you sign up today, only today, I will send you my list of top designers that I recommend. They will be able to contact you and work with you so that you can get your site exactly the way you want. And of course, you also get that free domain name for a year, which is a super deal. Don't not take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. Go to godandgifts.com/Bluehost. Check that out so you can get started. And don't be scared. Don't be scared. I was scared when I first built this stuff. As you can see, I was nervous about trying to do it live. It took I had to just, man up and say, okay, I'm going to do this and show up for you guys. And now I'm happy I did it, because you guys have given me compliments and say that it looks great. I'm so happy. I appreciate you so much. that you have allowed me to show you my process, and I hope that you'll do the same. So once again, this has been day 5. Oh, let me quickly tell you what day 6 and 7 will be, because I did say I'm going 6 and 7, but tomorrow will not be a live like this. Tomorrow will be a question and answer session. So I will create a room inside the creative community, and I will simply have people come in and they want to ask me questions about what I'm doing. We'll do a question and answer session that's in the God and Gigs creative community. So you're going to join that in order to be a part of that session. And then Sunday will be the great reveal, in which I will reveal my final site. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever it looks like it's going to be, look like, I'm going to stick to it. Give myself a deadline to have it done on Sunday. And again, doesn't mean I'm going to be done forever, but it means at least it will be clickable. It will be accessible. People will be able to go to it, and I'll see, what else I want to tweak and continue to work on it. But the beginnings of the site will be there. The foundation of the site will be there by Sunday, and I'll do that reveal on Sunday with you guys. Be glad to see your websites. I would love for you to post your website even on this link. If you're watching this now, post a site. Let us take a look at it. Let's share each other's websites. Let's talk about what makes our websites work so that we can present our best to our communities and to our audiences. That's super important to me, that this works for you, that you're not just feeling like, oh, this is just techie stuff. No, this is designed to serve our customers, serve our audiences. This is about making the best impression and helping people to get through this incredibly tough time, because they're able to use your website and use your services and find you and be able to connect with you so you can serve them. It is not just a technical exercise. Probably should have said that a lot more at the beginning, but now that I'm saying it, please hear me. This was not just designed to give you a site or to be able to design stuff. It's designed so that you can serve your tribe, serve your community, serve your audience, and be able to be a light in a dark place when it comes to things that are just going all out of whack. Here's a place where you can set up things and make it look and make it inviting and make a digital home that people are invited into. That's really what it's all about. I know it may sound like it's just all about the technical knowledge, but it's really about that. So I thank you so much. I hope you share this. If you're watching this later, go ahead and share it with some people. Let them know that, hey, this is a possibility. You can do this. But again, I recommend that you go to Bluehost today. I don't have any proof that they're not going to wipe this out at the end of August or the beginning of August. We're on December 31st, right? Not December, July 31st right now. So go ahead, check that out, get that domain name registered, move your site over, ask them questions at Bluehost, get your WordPress site up, and then start working on these things just like I'm doing, because you will find yourself so much farther ahead if you take a real good close look at what your website is doing and how you can make it better. Okay, thank you so much for being a part of this. I will see you guys tomorrow in the I'll probably say about noon will be the question and answer. So noon Eastern will be the question and answer period. So you want to jump in the God and Gigs creative community, you want to go ahead and join that. That's where I'll show up for that particular thing, and then we'll do the big reveal at we'll say 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. I'll announce it and send an email to everybody. So go to godandgigs.com/cleanup so you can get a final. I'll make sure to announce that here on the page as well. I just need to make sure that I can get the time right for the reveal. We might do it a little later to make sure everybody can be there to see my new site. So excited. It's crazy, right? All right. So I will see you guys on tomorrow in the question and answer period, 12 o'clock Eastern. Definitely want to see you there in the God and Gigs creative community. Oh, that is on Facebook right away. So if you're watching on YouTube, yeah, I'm going to do it on Facebook. Maybe we'll simulcast it to YouTube as well. I'm not sure. We'll see. But again, thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been so exciting, so cool to have you guys join me on this process. And so I really look forward to seeing what you are able to do with your websites using this information, using Bluehost, using WordPress, using all this stuff to get yourself in the best possible position to bless others with your art. Okay? Thank you again, everybody.